What's up, everybody, and welcome to a Wednesday and morning, afternoon, wherever you're listening to this edition of The Squeeze. I am your host, Tyler Connie. First and foremost, I just want to apologize. I think yesterday's video had some audio issues. I'm not really sure what happened there. So if you're unable to listen to it, I did make sure that I posted all my picks on Twitter. And thank goodness I did. We had a hell of a day. We went 4-1, up 3.75 units. Both the boosts hit, the Giannis double-double, the Argentina win, and the Messi shot. We had Zion and Porter both hit their steals. You ever have one of those days where you're just in the zone, and when you're reading the board, you just know, like, these bets are going to win. So we did fall short just on the Pelicans, who lost to the Jazz. So that ended their winning streak, but it was just one of those days where I just felt zoned in. So hopefully we can keep it going. 3 bets today across 3 different leagues. We're going to get started in college basketball with Ohio at Florida. Now this is at, I guess you'd call it a neutral site game or a semi-home game. So it's played in Tampa. So it's not played at Florida's home court, but it is going to be a home crowd, okay? So coming into this game, Ohio is 5-4, Florida is 6-4. Away, Ohio is 1-4 on the road, and Florida is 4-2 at home. So you can say this is a home game or it's not a home game or what have you, whatever. It's going to be their home fans there. So in terms of the line, I actually like the total more on this game than I do picking a winner because it's pretty close. The spread is 13.5 for Florida. It's a pretty big number, and Ohio can score the basketball. So I'm going to look at the total. It's set at 143.5. And when you go through and look, so Ohio is 5-3 to the over, Florida is 5-5, so they're even. They've gone half over, half under. And when you look at their last few games, so for Ohio, over is 11-2 in their last 13 games following a win. And then when you look at Florida, the over is 5-1 in their last 6 games following a loss. So sort of all the stars align there with Ohio coming off a win, Florida coming off a loss. Both teams tend to play the over. Over is also 9-2 in the Gators' last 11 on a neutral site game. So I have a feeling that this game is going to go over. When you look at Ohio, in their last few games, they've scored 81, 69, 113, 72, 78. If Ohio scores 70 points in this basketball game against Florida, this game is going to go over, okay? When you look at Florida, they only scored 54 last time out, but 89, 102, 55, 81, 83, 76. So they're scoring. They're the better basketball team for sure. So, and Ohio's been scoring well, especially when you're looking at road games. So I think that this game goes over. I like the total at 143.5. If it's 80-70, it flies over, which is sort of what I'm predicting there. So I'm going to take the over. That's -110. Bet 365. I'm going to take the just one flat unit there. Moving to the NBA, looking at the Miami Heat, who are at the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight. So coming into this game, Miami's only 13-15. They've underachieved this season. OKC's 11-16, which is, I think, where most people would predict that they would be. At home, OKC is 6-5, so they're above 500, and on the road, Miami is only 4-9. When you look at the ATS numbers, Miami is 9-18 ATS this season, brutal, and Oklahoma City is 16-11. So you might be wondering, well, obviously you're going to take OKC on the spread, but when you look at the line, it's plus 3.5, and that's at -110. So why not just take them outright? So I'm just going to take the money line for Oklahoma City. I got that number at plus 125 at Bet Victor last night. I think it's actually gone up at some other books, maybe somewhere. Well, it's gone down at Bet Victor, but I think I just saw plus 130. Shop around for this number. Again, I got it at Bet Victor at plus 125. Jimmy Butler will not be playing in tonight's game. There's a lot of injuries for Miami right now. So Tyler Herro is probable today with an ankle injury. We'll see. Oladipo is probable. We'll see. Jimmy Butler is out. And then for Oklahoma City, not too many injuries they're battling. So I like Shai Alexander at home for sure for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're playing well. The Heat are 1-10-1 in their last 12 ATS, 2-13 in their last 6 following a win. Like, just absolutely brutal. OKC is 5-1 ATS in their last 6, playing on 1 day's rest. Thunder are 5-1 ATS in their last 6 versus a team with a road winning percentage of less than 40, who is brutal. Also, the over is 8-2 in the Thunder's last 10 games. So I just like there to be a lot of points in this game, which I think favors the Oklahoma City Thunder. And why not take a shot? We had a really nice day yesterday. We're having some luck on our side, so why not bet the underdog here, the home underdog, plus 125 for 1 unit, Oklahoma City Thunder on the money line. And now, our last bet, is in the National Hockey League. We're going to go to Ottawa with a Canadian matchup. We've got the Montreal Canadiens at the Ottawa Senators. And I'm going to go with another total on this game as well. So when you look at these two teams, the under is 16-11 on the year for Montreal, 17-11 on the year for Ottawa. So these have been two under teams. Montreal's last few games, the totals have been 3, 6, 6, 13, 8, 3, 4, 5, 4. So they're playing a lot of under games. When you look at Ottawa, 3, 5, 7. That was an overtime. 7, 5, 4, 5. So the over-under in hockey is usually around between 6 and 7. It's at 6.5 today. I don't imagine that these two teams are going to get to 7 goals. The under for Montreal is 6-1 in their last 7 games versus a losing record. The under is 7-2 in their last 9 overall. For Ottawa, the under is 5-0 when their last 5 opponents allow 2 goals or less in their previous game. Under is 10-1 in Ottawa's last 11 games played on 1 day's rest. And when they play each other, it's gone over a little bit, but they have not played. They played, when's the last time they played? They haven't played since April of last year, and that was a 6-4 game, but teams have changed a lot. Ottawa is a much different team than last year, and Montreal is certainly a much different team than last year as well. So when you look at these two, you've got 2 solid goalies in net. Cam Talbot's in net for Ottawa. He's got a 2.55 goals against. I just think that this game is not going to get all the way up to 7 goals. Canadian matchups are usually played very hard, very physical. So I expect that to go under. So just to recap, we've got Florida Gators and Ohio to go over 143.5. That's minus 110 at Bet365 for 1 unit. I've got the Oklahoma City Thunder to beat Miami on the money line. That's plus 125 for 1 unit at BetVictor. And lastly, I've got Ottawa and Montreal to go under 6.5 at minus 125 at DraftKings, laying 1.25 units on that. As always, drop a comment if you're going to fade or follow. You follow me on Twitter at Tyler Conium. There's hopefully a lot more player props, which we did really well with yesterday. Hopefully some more boosts that we can get on for the World Cup game. We'll see. But as always, let's just talk some sports.